Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video.
Hold on a second, I got something.
Ain't that the truth?
You can't actually be surprised.
This is amazing.
So dope.
Now you know that ain't no figure of speech, right?
You may be right.
I'm always bloody wrong.
No, that's my number 3 Billy Joel song.
Oh, knock it off.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This will be my full Boys Season 5, Episode 6 trailer video. There's a whole bunch of new footage, Easter eggs, WTF moments, so we will break it all down. They are really trying to make it seem like Homelander really will get the V1 and he will become immortal, so what's going to happen after that? The episode is titled Though the Heavens Fall, which is a reference to the title of issue 58 of the comics, and the phrase is also written on the bottom of the 7th sculpture in Vought Tower, reading Fiat Justia Ruat Caelum, which roughly translates to Let justice be done though the heavens fall in Latin. Over the seasons, Homelander's had the statue changed a number of times based on who is in the 7, the roster of the 7, but up to Season 5 now, he's changed it and it's just his face, just to show you how he views the rest of the 7 in general, like he doesn't really care about anybody else, just himself. This is also meant to dovetail with the whole subplot of him believing that he's going to become the next god. And it kind of seems like this first scene here where he's staring at the statue of himself in the little area here is meant to be for the Easter celebration that they said would be his big unveiling where they would also release the Homelander Bible. The whole idea is that Firecracker's plan wasn't moving fast enough for him, so O-Father wanted to appease him by saying, yes, we'll just tell everybody that you are the Lord. We will see how that winds up going down the last couple of episodes. I'm assuming that Easter celebration won't happen till like the very end of the series. But probably one of the other biggest reveals of this new trailer footage is that Sage is now working with the boys, seemingly against Homelander, and it's part of that subplot that they introduced during last week's episode, where she tried to get Ashley and back Ashley, like her second psychic head, to conspire against Homelander to try and kill him with her. So it just seems like things get so dire that Sage finally goes to the boys. Maybe she was planning on that as a contingency too, all because Sage wasn't banking on Soldier Boy bonding with Homelander so much. There were a couple of funny bits with that during episode 5, where he's like, yes, he's a weirdo, like names off all these different things that Homelander is really weird about, but he's my weirdo.
What? That came out wrong.
That old scene towards the end of the trailer with Butcher and Huey bickering about his love of Billy Joel is a callback to Season 2 when he and Starlight were singing together in the car, but it also might be them getting ready to meet with Sage, or them just seeding that subplot, where Butcher's like, oh, okay, if we're going to get some help from Sage, if it helps take Homelander down, he doesn't care where the help comes from. And it kind of seems like at every turn here, Homelander is just getting closer and closer to actually getting the V1, and everybody else's plans, like Sage's plans as well as the boys' plans, have not been working to slow that down. One of the other biggest scenes during this, we keep seeing that scene of Homelander shooting his lasers into the sky, screaming, in the broken syringe and Soldier Boy standing next to him in the middle of a field with all the boys watching from the woods nearby like they're really afraid. So it really does seem like it's him actually taking the V1, and maybe he just lasered himself to pierce his own super strong skin so that he could actually take the V1. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to get it into his system the way he needed to. So the trailer really wants you to think that Homelander is going to actually take the V1 and he will become immortal. You have to remember this is only episode 6, there's still 2 episodes left. So this would imply that the V1 does what it's supposed to do, what they think it's going to do to him. And the really big WTF idea is how do they stop him now if he's theoretically immortal? Mostly to mean that the virus will not work on him, and that's what they were banking on. The only thing that Homelander is not going to be immune to, that he's still susceptible to, is all of his psychological problems, many psychological problems. And the funny thing you remember too is that Sage said the whole reason why she wanted to get rid of him was because he was so needy, his psychological problems. It almost seems like the easiest way to take Homelander down now is just to get him the best therapy in the world. Speaking of which, thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Everyone's mental health has been in the dumper the last few years, people getting fired left and right, everyone wonders if there's going to be another recession. It is rough out there. My very unhealthy way of dealing with all the stress has been always to just bury my head in the work. Just make that next video. We've got like 4 different TV shows on every week that I should be doing videos for instead of trying to help myself. Trying to keep up with everything and manage all the other stresses of everyday life gets everybody eventually, definitely going to get me. And take it from me, workaholic, it has never been more true that dudes will do anything before going to therapy. Anything to avoid going to therapy, and everybody could use a little more therapy. BetterHelp is designed to make that as easy as possible. Take a quiz and get matched with a licensed therapist based on your needs. Quickly communicate however you feel over the phone, through a video chat, or just using text. You can switch therapists anytime at no extra cost if it's not the right fit. And currently over 6 million people have gotten help through BetterHelp. It currently has a rating of 4.8 out of 5 stars on the App Store. So click on my link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/emergency and get the first 10% off your first month of therapy. Everybody could use some more help, so be sure to get yourself some, and they make it as easy as possible. One of the other weird changes the show has made from the comics is the way the Soldier Boy's powers work. They're implying the Compound V powers are conditional on having active Compound V in your system, like V1 or whatever iteration of Compound V it is, and him using his explosive power can burn it out of Soup's system, including Homelander, including his former comrades that took the V1 to the more powerful Compound V. And that'll return people to their totally normal, non-powered state. In the changes the Compound V makes to people's bodies, their DNA is not permanent like it is in the comics. In the comics, you take it once and it modifies your DNA on the cellular level, and that's it. It's kind of like the X gene or mutations in Marvel Comics. You can only get rid of people's powers, rid of people's mutations with some additional formula or treatment or compound. Otherwise, they're permanently changed, like you can't turn off your powers. It kind of feels like a weird change for The Boys TV show to make from the comics, but it's probably just so that they can have these kinds of moments where Homelander is genuinely worried about what might happen to him if he didn't have his powers, and moments like where A-Train was telling him to his face that he's nothing without the Compound V, and Homelander kind of believes it for a second and kind of shakes him a little bit.
And what are you, huh? Pathetic.
Probably the other thing, too, they don't address during this footage, but they did talk about at the end of last week's episode, is that in order for Homelander to even take the V1, it means the Soldier Boy would have to have gotten it from Bombside. So I think that's the idea at the end of last week's episode, episode 5, is that he was on his way to find where Mr. Marathon had been contacting Bombside, even though it had been several years. We haven't actually seen him in present day on the show yet, but because he has the V1 in his system, he also does not age the way that Soldier Boy doesn't age, so he's going to look just like his promo pic from the Vought Rising prequel show that's going to be airing episodes next year, like the Soldier Boy prequel with Stormfront, all the other characters that they've been setting up with this V1 subplot, mostly I think to get people gassed up to see this Jensen Ackles-led TV show. Even though The Boys' main show is ending, we got this whole other show, Jensen Ackles, super popular actor, please come watch this too. That's going to take place in the 1950s, so anytime you see them reference Soldier Boy's backstory, or he talks about his backstory, like he does that in almost every single episode this season so far, is them just slowly seeding details and stuff that they'll explore on that prequel show, especially the other big characters they mentioned. Bombside just happens to be like the latest real big one. All those people that Sage mentioned that got the V1 with Soldier Boy as part of his trial were part of his first team, and it was meant to be Vought's first attempt of a supergroup in the 1950s, and they're meant to be more like the Justice Society to the Seven's Justice League in present day. We will see if any of the others show up in present day. There were all the rumors about Stormfront too, because Soldier Boy was convinced that she was not dead. Like, wait, did you see a body? And Homelander didn't actually see her body. Maybe they're saving that for some big WTF reveal in another future episode. But the other big question too is if Stormfront is still alive, does she also still have no arms and no legs, or was she able to grow those back? Does V1 give them Viltrumite-like healing, regeneration like the Invincible TV series? For the most part, The Boys TV series up to this point has made it seem like the regular Compound V superheroes can't heal that kind of damage, like they can't regrow limbs, but they're super durable. And when it comes to characters like Homelander, he's like a level above in terms of power from all the other regular Compound V superheroes because he has so much extra of it in his veins. It also renders him even more resistant to even psychic-based attacks, like Victoria Newman was a good example. She tried to use her power to pop his head and couldn't do it on live TV. That's how powerful he's meant to be, even without the V1. The addition of the V1 basically just stops his body from aging and also renders him immune to pretty much any kind of virus. So they're really trying to make it seem like we head into the last couple of episodes of the season with Homelander being unkillable, unstoppable, and an immortal god emperor. Like he's gotten everything that he's wanted, but I'm just expecting, because it's The Boys TV series, for there to be some sort of really big, ironic, dark twist on his ending that is different from the comics.
Which is why Homelander can't survive. That needy would never give me a moment's rest.
We've still got a couple weeks, so I'm gonna have to reread the boys' comics a couple times. Just remember that a lot of the bigger twists that happen in the finale, they're not doing on the show. It's just gonna have vibes of the ending of the boys' comics, like he's gonna be in the White House. All these scenes of him in the White House also seem like they are from further future episodes, not next week's episode. But there are a couple real cool comic book panels that I hope that they try to recreate. But they complained about how their budget isn't nearly as big as like a lot of big Marvel TV shows, so we will see where they spent most of their budget. It feels like they blew a lot of the budget on the Supernatural crossover episode. Really the funniest thing in all this is Sage's Phase 2 plan and the whole reason for the plan and wanting to get rid of Homelander because he's too annoying and she just wants to spend time alone reading her books, which is very Twilight Zone-esque. I'm also kind of expecting an ironic twist for her ending too, like things will not go according to her plan, and even if she does survive, she won't get like the real happy ending that she's hoping for, and her happy ending is just being alone with the world burned down around her. I don't think that that's going to happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if she winds up locked up in a cell alone by herself with all the books she can read, and that's the way that her dream is fulfilled. Like she gets her wish, but not in the way that she thinks she's going to get it. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below, and if you spotted any Easter eggs or references in the footage that I didn't talk about during the video, just write them below in the comments. My full episode 6 video will post next week after they release it. We also have the Daredevil Born Again Season 2 finale and the Punisher special presentation, like the small Punisher movie. I've already done a big trailer video for that. That'll release the week after the Daredevil Born Again finale, so be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. Everybody click here for that boys episode. I'll update the link as soon as I post it, and click here for all my other big episodes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.